Imagine this for a second. One day, you're making coffee for people inside a public bathroom stall. Or maybe you're out on a dusty street corner, just trying to sell enough vegetables to get by. These aren't stories. This was the reality for a group of people. And then, almost overnight, everything changes. We're talking luxury cars, sprawling villas, pictures with famous celebrities. So how on earth did they pull it off? We're going to unravel this whole mystery, because the truth of where the money came from is so much more complicated and honestly, so much more sinister than anyone could have ever guessed. So, right off the bat, here's the question that's just baffling everyone. I mean, not just us, but top-level investigators too. How did this group of social media personalities, people who were really just getting by, suddenly find themselves swimming in unbelievable wealth? And this all happened in just a few short months. We're not talking about just making a good living. No. We are talking about a complete 180-degree flip of their entire existence. It's like it happened in the blink of an eye, all on TikTok.
You know, it's the contrast that makes this whole story feel like it's straight out of a movie. I mean, just look at the details. You've got Salma El-Rahala. She literally went viral for a video showing her making coffee on a little sand heater inside a bathroom. Think about that. Then there's Omar, who was a street vendor selling vegetables. And Madaham, another big name in this, he started off working in a tiny little kiosk. Now, flash forward, the same people are suddenly cruising around in the newest BMWs, cars that are worth millions. They're not just vacationing in Dubai, they're setting up companies there. They're getting their pictures taken with famous TV hosts like Rehem Saeed. You look at the before and you look at the after, and it just makes absolutely no sense.
And that leads us to the exact question that has landed on the desks of investigators at the Public Funds Investigation Unit. It's the question they're asking themselves every single day as they dig into this case. Where did all these millions, tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of pounds just suddenly materialize from? The answer that's starting to bubble to the surface, well, it's way more complex and way more chilling than just getting popular online.
And the answer that investigators keep coming back to, the one that seems to connect all these dots, it points to a massive, incredibly sophisticated money laundering operation. A digital laundry, really, using the creator economy as its own personal washing machine. Okay, so let's just be perfectly clear on what we're actually talking about here. What is money laundering? In the simplest terms, it's the process of taking dirty money, cash that comes from illegal stuff, like drug deals or even worse, and making it clean. You have to wash it. You do that by running it through a bunch of complicated transactions to hide where it originally came from, making it look like you earned it from a totally legitimate business. And in this whole situation, that so-called legitimate business was allegedly the TikTok profiles of these very influencers. The way this scheme allegedly worked is kind of brilliant in its simplicity, which is what makes it so scary. So here's the breakdown. Step 1. Someone out there has a whole lot of dirty cash they need to clean. So they take that money and buy huge amounts of TikTok's virtual gifts. You know, the little lions and universes you see on screen? Step 2. They wait for a live battle between two influencers. Then these secret supporters just flood one of the influencers with all those gifts they bought. To you and me watching at home, it just looks like they have some really rich and generous fans. But then comes step 3, the final step. The influencer takes all those gifts, cashes out their value with TikTok, and that money lands in their bank account. And just like that, it looks like legitimate earnings from their social media job. They've essentially become a washer, and for their trouble, they get to keep a nice commission. Now, just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're dealing with, one of the biggest stars on TikTok, Madaham, is formally accused by the Ministry of Interior of laundering 65 million Egyptian pounds. Let that number sink in. That's not his total income. That is the amount of illegal money that he allegedly helped clean. And the authorities say he didn't just let it sit in the bank. He then allegedly funneled that money into real-world assets. We're talking real estate, luxury cars, and even setting up more companies, all to make that laundered cash look even more legitimate.
And believe it or not, it wasn't just the huge established stars. This goes deeper. Look at the case of Suzy El Ordinasia. She's only 18 years old, and she is being accused of laundering 15 million pounds. She got famous for her really controversial videos, and investigators allege that she used this dirty money to buy property. Her own mother even appeared in a video, just in total shock, saying something like, "How can she possibly have 15 million? She asked me for 50 pounds just to take a tuk-tuk to her exam." I mean, that really shows you how deep this alleged network was and how it was happening right under everyone's noses.
Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, this is all just a wild theory, it's just accusations, well, you have to hear this. In a video clip that Monahan broadcasted himself before he was arrested, someone asked him directly if he had ever been approached to do this kind of thing. And his answer? He admitted on camera that he'd been offered the chance to be a washer 8 different times. 8. Now, he claims he said no every time, but just the fact that he admitted it proves how widespread these schemes are in the influencer world. It's like it's an open secret.
The story of millions of pounds in dirty money is shocking enough, right? But it begs a bigger question. Where does all that dirty money even come from in the first place? And this is where our explainer has to take a much, much darker turn. Because the money laundering, as bad as it is just one piece of this horrifying puzzle. It's allegedly connected to a crime that has a very real and an absolutely tragic human price. This one line, this single chilling sentence comes from a voice note that has become the absolute core of this entire investigation. It's a woman's voice, and she's allegedly talking to some kind of go-between, desperately trying to set up the sale of her own kidney. This voice note actually got leaked during a big public fight between some of the influencers, and it just blew the entire case wide open. It pointed investigators toward a possibility so horrifying it's hard to even comprehend, that the source of some of this laundered money was human organ trafficking. So as investigators started pulling on this terrible new thread, a whole web of names began to surface, all seemingly connected. You have Salma El-Rahala, the woman who went from a coffee stall to a real estate mogul. Then there's Layla El-Shabah, another big influencer. Mecca, who got famous for selling pickled fish online. Sagja, and even the name of a well-known actress, Wafal Amer, has been mentioned as someone who might be a connector in this whole thing. They all seem to know each other, they were always in each other's live streams, promoting each other's pages, and, according to the accusations, maybe even working together in a highly organized and very dark network.
But you have to wonder, how could something so awful be hidden right out in the open? Well, one of the alleged methods was to disguise it as charity. Salma El-Rahala was actually filmed going to visit other social media personalities who were sick, and she would hand them these huge wads of cash right on camera. She claimed the money was a generous donation from a benefactor, a lawyer named Layla Mokhalid, who was supposedly in Switzerland. But then it happened again and again, with different sick people. And this strange pattern raised a terrifying question. Were these really good deeds? Or were they payments for something else entirely?
The culture around this group was just bizarre and deeply disturbing, and it was often right there for everyone to see. In one video, you see Omeka celebrating a brand new car, a car worth £2 million. Her husband is teasing her, asking where she got the money. He jokes, "Was it from antiquities, drugs?" And she just laughs and shoots back, "No, this time it was human organs. I sold a lobe of my liver." Now, they're joking, they're laughing, but when you put it in the context of all these other allegations, it's a joke that sends an absolute chill down your spine. It completely blurs the line between a performance for social media and a potential horrifying reality.
So, with accusations of this magnitude piling up, we're talking multi-million-pound money laundering schemes and hints of organ trafficking. It was really only a matter of time before the authorities were going to have to intervene. And when they finally did, the crackdown was swift, it was decisive, and it was so widespread that it sent shockwaves through the entire social media landscape.
The sheer breadth of this investigation shows you this isn't about just one or two bad apples. This is systemic. Monahan is facing the money laundering charge and also drug charges. Suzy Elordinya, the 18-year-old, is under investigation for that $15 million in laundering. Mecca was investigated after authorities found 2 kilograms of pure gold just sitting in her home. But it even goes beyond financial crimes. People like Khaled Rassam and Peter Tattoo were arrested for publishing indecent content. Omar was brought in for slander. This is a full-scale, systemic sweep of the platform.
The story of Mecca really captures the absolute absurdity of this whole situation. Her entire career supposedly began on a street corner selling pickled fish, with a starting capital, by her own admission, of a single 500-pound note. Now, fast forward just a few short months. Authorities raid her home, and they find 2 kilograms of gold.
That's worth around 10 million pounds. I mean, that's not just making it big. That is a statistical impossibility through any legal means in such a short amount of time. And that's not even mentioning the fleet of luxury cars and the real estate they also found.
So, while the individual stories, the arrests, the luxury cars, the drama, are all completely fascinating, it is so important that we zoom out for a second and really understand what a scandal like this truly represents. Because this isn't just about a few TikTokers who got into some serious trouble. This is about a fundamental, dangerous vulnerability in our new digital economy.
At the end of the day, what this case really does is pull back the curtain and show how easily these platforms, which are designed for fun, for entertainment, for connection, how easily they can be twisted and weaponized. The very features that make TikTok so engaging, the live battles, the virtual gifts, the instant ability to make money, those can also make it the perfect environment for highly sophisticated criminal operations. It exposes a really dark side of the creator economy, where the chase for fame and likes can end up masking crimes as serious as you can imagine.
And all of this leaves us with a massive, critical question for our future. As this whole creator economy continues to explode into a multi-billion-dollar industry, who is responsible for policing its dark corners? Is it up to the platforms themselves, like TikTok? Is it up to law enforcement, who are often playing catch-up? Or do we need to invent entirely new kinds of rules and regulations to stop these digital worlds from becoming safe havens for illegal activity? This scandal isn't just an Egyptian story. It's a global warning for all of us.
Wow, what a story. To our wonderful friends of the channel, your being here is truly our biggest motivation. So to make sure you never miss our next explainer, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel and make sure you activate the bell for all notifications. And if you found this insightful, hitting that like button and sharing it really helps us out a ton. And please, leave a comment. We really want to know what you think. And so we can keep making content like this and improving the channel together, you can support us in a few simple and direct ways. You can join our special family by hitting the join button for exclusive badges and perks. If this video was especially helpful, you can show your appreciation by hitting the super thanks button right below. You can also express yourself with our unique super stickers. And for those who prefer direct support, our secure PayPal link is in the first pinned comment below this video. Every single contribution, no matter the size, helps us so much to keep going and bring you content that you deserve. Thank you so much for your support and your trust.
And if you're interested in knowing the latest developments in the Yasin case, or stories about intelligence and espionage, the secret of Hala Shiha's repentance and return to God and the hijab, or the full true story of the Iraqi blogger Noor al-Dailami and her secrets, and other real-life stories, I highly recommend you check out the videos right there on your screen.